Hi, my name is Neil Bolger at A2 Efficiency, and in this video, we're going to go over a free tool that's on our website for architects who are working on their project documentation for the AIA 2030 Challenge. This is a lightweight tool. I like to think of it as like back of a napkin estimator tool for projects in California who are looking to estimate their predicted energy use intensity and may not have an estimate already. Maybe they're in early design, maybe they're completed and they never had an energy model. If you're one of those projects, then this video is certainly for you. I am just going to dive into the tool and show you how it works, and we'll kind of go from there. So again, it's a web tool. It tells you a bit about the tool up here, but basically what this is it's a form that will start populating data on the right as you start to fill out some information on the left. So we're going to fill out, there's some information for a project name. You don't have to submit it or anything. It's literally just this form, and you can take the numbers and use them. None of this is tracked on our end. It's just a web page and some relationships. But what it is there is a benchmark in here, and there's a bunch of energy model results baked into this from some typical building models that we ran in all these California climate zones for folks. And we did this because we have access to these models kind of at our fingertips from the work we do in research. And we realized not everyone does. And how could we make that a little bit more accessible, especially to a lot of our friends who are architects out there and really just struggling to get some basic numbers. So you can see here all the different building types. Where this came from is from this pretty neat project that is put on by CalBEM, which is the California Building Energy Modeling Symposium, kind of a volunteer group that is put up by Edison. They did a project that built all these little building prototypes, ran them in a lot of vintages. We grabbed these models, reran them in California, and then put them in this tool for you all. So I'm going to do a demo. I'm just going to pick office building. I'm going to type in an area code. And then from that area code, it's going to guess where I am, Santa Rosa, Sonoma County. It's going to show me the California climate zone that the Energy Commission uses, climate zone 2. It'll show me my lookup city, where the model's going to come from. And then as I type in my square footage, it's going to show me my predicted energy use intensity. It's then going to show me my baseline and my AIA 2030 target. Let's see if we can get this thing to work. One thing I will note is, there we go. So it does take a little bit of getting the zip code right. You might make sure this goes from yellow to green. So what happened there? So this zero tool that's also built into the DDX platform is your baseline tool. And it's looking at this CBEX national database. And it's not just trying to take the average office building for the US, it tries to adjust it to your climate. And so I typed it in there twice to get it to work. And it basically said, well, 90, if you remember, 90 was the office average for the US, but California, it's 56.9. It's not 90. And so that number changed a little bit, right? It came down. And this ideally should match the DDX tool, but whatever DDX says, that's really your baseline. But here it's just sort of showing you those goal marks, right? So this is now showing us your baseline is here. The target for 2025 is to get it down to 17. And then this prototype we ran says we think your EUI is 42. Down in this little table actually shows you what that predicted model breakdown is from. It shows you how much is gas, how much is electric, and you can see here the breakdown already. I actually think it is heat pumps, because if you see gas is 2.7, water systems are 2.7, so I actually think this has a heat pump. But it's also showing you we're basing this on a small office. That's the prototype, the small office. It has a shape, it has 5 zones. It may not be your small office, but it is a small office. And this database, effectively, in my opinion, is representative of a building that is meeting the energy code. So if you're meeting it prescriptively in an office, it's not a bad estimate. It might be a little high, but it's not bad. If you had a bigger building, if this was 50,000 square feet, it would use the medium office. If you had an even bigger building, it would use the large office. That'll change the prototype it's guessing, and we could talk about why the end uses are different here. That won't change your benchmark, right? The benchmark is just the benchmark. But let's go back down to our small building. We'll do 15,000 square feet. Number of stories, I don't think will change. That'll change the stuff down here. Okay. So that's your EUI, that's your goal. All right, so let's talk solar. So we then added this solar module. So for a long time, we had a little solar tool we were using to do early solar estimate. It's not perfect. It basically will take whatever you might know of the solar system. So if you know the kilowatts, I have a 15 kilowatt system. It will predict 15 kilowatts will reduce your EUI by 3.9. But you might say, well, I actually know the roof area. It's going to be 35% of the roof is covered in panels. And that will say, okay, that's actually 71.4 kilowatts and 18.8. I think let's make this 2 stories. Oh yeah, there you go. So if it was a 2-story building, your roof is half the size. Your solar system is now 35% of that smaller roof. So that's where the number of stories really comes into play, is this like roof area tool function. So we'll go back down to 1. And now if we go up here, we can see we're at a net EUI of 23. So that might be high. Maybe that's right. If you knew what you think your predicted EUI is, you could type it in. So let's say I knew it was 34. That got rid of that little box. Now down here it says we think you're at 34. And with your solar, you're going to be at 15.2. And you made it. Again, it's not about making it, right? It's about reporting what we think we achieved and really just documenting to improve the transparency of projects. So if I leave it at 42, and we got our solar down here, then down here is where it tells you all this information. And these are the different EUIs. I actually realized that something we should add, I think DDX wants kilowatt hours and therms. So we will add that as outputs so you don't have to do the multiplication and translation of this unit into kilowatt hours and therms. But more to come. Basically, you could print this. It's just going to basically hit file print and make you a PDF. There's nothing you submit here. You just have to take this information and use it. It's just kind of a free tool. If you want to learn a bit more about it, we do have this little drop down how it works here, which tells you a little bit more of where it came from, how we ran it. But shoot us an email if you have any questions. If you get stuck, info@a2efficiency.com. We really hope this helps. Like I said, back of the napkin estimator, hopefully something that can bring some more numbers to people that are out there looking for numbers. All right, with that, we will talk to you later. Cheers.